Matthew 5-7. And with what measure you mete, it shall be measured to you. Again, a literal quotation from Matthew 7:2. And blessed are the poor, that they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Taken almost verbatim from Matthew 5:3 and 10, further, etc. So he goes on, Tischendorf, to show more quotes from these early church fathers. He goes, special weight must be ascribed to the passage in which Polycarp's letter, which clearly manifests the use of the first epistle of John. Polycarp writes, for everyone who does not confess that Jesus Christ is come in the flesh is an antichrist. In John 4:3, the passage runs, every spirit that confesseth not that Jesus is come in the flesh is not of God, and this is the spirit of Antichrist. The importance of this use by Polycarp of the Epistle of John is based upon this, that although the heroes of doubt bring into suspicion even that which is really indisputable, the Epistle and the Gospel of John are shown by their essential unity of incident and language to have necessarily had the same author. Thus the use of the Epistle argues the use of the Gospel as well. I have shown above from Polycarp's intimate relationship to John how valuable in his testimony that has such great weight as scarcely to allow a word to be uttered in disavowal of the writings which he confirms. The unworthy skill of modern scholars has not shrunk, however, from setting aside the fact of Polycarp's testimony and unnerving its strength. A writer of much acuteness says, we are not compelled to regard the words of Polycarp as an actual quotation from John, for that may have been a sentence which had come into circulation, in which the church may have been committed to paper by John just as well as by Polycarp, without compelling the later to learn it from the former. Before this conjecture had been brutened, which I don't know what that means, a fellow believer had fallen upon another way out of the difficulty. Can the thing not be reversed? May not the author of the Johannine Gospel, which is a little genuine, as so much else that has for 2,000 years received the reverent homage of Christendom, may not this false John have cited as well from Polycarp? It requires a great deal of courage to give utterance to such an idle fancy, yet there are men of learning who are not lacking in this courage. But the universal and radical medicament which must be relied on at the last admits in this instance of double application. If the Gospel of John can be thrown overboard so easily, the Epistle of Polycarp can not so easily be disposed of. Polycarp then did not write the Epistle, yet the disciples of Polycarp, Irenaeus, believed and gave his witness to just the contrary. But there are never lacking spacious grounds for false position. The professors of the 19th century have the art of putting out of sight even in Irenaeus and his followers. The attack on the authenticity of Polycarp's epistle is all the more worth refuting. If successful, it does away no less with the genuineness of Ignatius' epistles, all the more troublesome if they are to be accepted in the limits which Polycarp and Eusebius assign to them. On this account, the latest outbreaks of critical presumption and audacity have been directed against the whole Polycarp-Ignatius literature. What one of these critical hearers does not venture, another does. One goes to work more in root and branch and fashion, and another more artistically. The one contents himself with rejecting on his own authority all those passages in Polycarp's letter which allude to the person and epistle of Ignatius, imputing them to a forger known to have lived long before Eusebius' time. The other, on the contrary, casts away the whole letter. In like manner, the one satisfies himself with regarding the three shortest Syrian epistles of Ignatius as genuine, the other holds it more advisable to assert that not a single one of the collective letters of Ignatius is genuine. Such things as this would soon convert the temple of God into a common ruin. For my own part, I do not hesitate to advance further in the period of Polycarp. Justin, a martyr even before his violent death in Rome in 160, made his memory clear to the church, had attained to great celebrity through his writings. 3 of his works are still in existence in the complete form, and their authenticity is undisputed. The 2 Apologies and the dialogue with the Jew Tryphon. Eusebius displays perfect familiarity with the 2, which were written to defend Christianity against the attacks of high pagan authorities, and speaks of them as 2 separate works, one of which was dedicated to the Emperor Antonimus, the other to Marcus Aurelius. Jerome, repeats the statement of Eusebius, and most scholars down to the present day have coincided with him. The first work must be assigned to the year 138 or 139, the other 161, and the first year of the reign of Marcus Aurelius. Respecting the first, however, it should be said that it was 139 that Marcus Aurelius Vercimus was named as Caesar, yet the inscription does not address him with the imperial title. Very recently there have been new views taken respecting this matter, and there has been unjustified evidence brought forward to support the assigning of the year 147 to the production of the first of the two works in question. Some, moreover, have felt themselves justified in taking a position not warranted by Eusebius